We start with an exclusive coming in from Pakistan, where a serving intelligence officer has now moved the Islamabad High Court accusing his senior officers for inaction against suspects in terrorism cases. Malik Mukhtar Ahmed Shehzad, who is a serving officer in Pakistan's Intelligence Bureau, he's claimed that his own agency is protecting terrorists. He has demanded for a probe led by Pakistan's Inter-Services Intelligence Agency. WION spoke exclusively to the intelligence officer's lawyer. Take a listen.
This petition is filed by a serving assistant sub-inspector of Intelligence Bureau, and as per his statement, when he joined Intelligence Bureau in 2007, he has been working on various intelligence assignments, and in the course of his duties he has come across various materials, various pieces of evidence whereby he could sense a link being established between certain high-ups within the Intelligence Bureau and some terrorist organizations. Certainly, if there are some rotten eggs within the organization, the voice has come, the whistleblower is also from within the same ranks, from within the same organization, and that is why the petitioner is asking another premier intelligence agency of Pakistan to investigate this case, to look into it and just root out the rotten eggs.
And WION's Pakistan Bureau Chief Taha Siddiqui joins me live from Islamabad right now. Taha, thanks so much for joining us. These are damning revelations, but the big question now is, now that these claims have been made, how will the investigation go from here on? Because according to the claims that this officer is making, is it not apparent that the ISI would also be in the know of whatever has been happening? How does it play out from here?
Well, there are a few things that need to be kept in mind when it comes to this particular sort of story or the development, and it's the context of it. Basically, if you heard the lawyer in the end, he said that the IB officer, the Intelligence Bureau officer, in his petition has asked for the ISI to investigate this particular case. Now, when that clearly shows that he is sort of playing into the rivalry that the ISI and the IB have, and that rivalry emanates from the civil-military tensions in the country, and it appears that the military is going to the extent of sort of, making Pakistan as a sort of, exposing Pakistan, or globally Pakistan being talked as a terror safe haven already, and despite that they're using one of the IB officials to sort of mudsling against his own superiors, because there is a lot of tensions and rifts between the IB Intelligence Bureau and the ISI, which is the military-led agency. Now, the petitioner has asked for the High Court to intervene and ask the ISI to investigate these sort of allegations. In previous cases, we haven't seen any such sort of precedents, and basically the ISI is an independent organization that works under the military sort of purview, and the IB works under the civilian authorities sort of purview and under the Interior Ministry. So they are two different departments. They are supposed to work together on different issues, and also traditionally it's the ISI or the military wing that has been always sort of thought to be softer or friendlier towards these militant groups or these terror networks.
Right.
So it is quite surprising, even in Pakistan, for all of us to see that one IB official coming up and saying that.
Right, Taha, I'd like you to please stay on with me once again, if we can go back and listen in to what the IB officer's lawyer has to say about the case.
This petition is filed by a serving assistant sub-inspector of Intelligence Bureau, and as per his statement, when he joined Intelligence Bureau in 2007, he has been working on various intelligence assignments, and in the course of his duties he has come across various materials, various pieces of evidence whereby he could sense a link being established between certain high-ups within the Intelligence Bureau and some terrorist organizations. Certainly, if there are some rotten eggs within the organization, the voice has come, the whistleblower is also from within the same ranks, from within the same organization, and that is why the petitioner is asking another premier intelligence agency of Pakistan to investigate this case, to look into it and just root out the rotten eggs.
Taha, coming back to you, you were just mentioning there have been no such precedents as far as this kind of a case is concerned, but now there are several questions that come to light. For instance, the security of this officer, and the other thing is obviously the credibility of the intelligence bureau in Pakistan. That's also come into question.
Well, definitely. I mean, first of all, this particular officer, he is already sort of underground. I tried to, ask the lawyer as to give us some details or whether we could access him, but he said that due to the sensitivity of the case, he's not appearing on media, or he's not even, he's living very low key now and low profile now, given that he might face some threats from his own organizations, or given what he has revealed. At the same time, how things will proceed. Basically, I asked the lawyer, because the lawyer said that he has a number of evidences about, these allegations that he's made. So I asked him if he'd shared these evidences or these proofs with him. He said no. The client, the petitioner himself has not sort of, shared those proofs or evidences, saying that when the court calls him in, at that time he will reveal all those evidences and proofs. So now it depends on how the court at the Islamabad High Court, how this unveils and how this unfolds. But we have to remember one thing, that what Pakistani analysts and people who are from the security background, they're saying is that this is a clear case of rivalry between the Intelligence Bureau and the ISI, and the ISI is trying to sort of, ridicule and bring bad name to the IB, to the Intelligence Bureau, and because the Intelligence Bureau in the last 3 to 4 years has strengthened a lot under Nawaz Sharif's government when he was the Prime Minister, under the current civilian setup, because obviously the civilians want the civilian intelligence apparatus to strengthen, and
right.
This is what has been happening for the last 3-4 years, and the ISI is not very happy with it.
All right, Taha, we'll leave it at that. Thanks so much for joining us there and reporting on the very latest developments and also the lawyer's reaction there exclusively on WION.